Hey, welcome back. So today we are making AIP, autoimmune protocol, something like that, lasagna. Lasagna, we can't have tomatoes, we can't have noodles. What can we do to make lasagna? Okay, so why am I making this? Because I would say like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I made a post and I said, hey guys, I'm running out of ideas and I need to make AIP recipes because that's how I'm eating right now. And so my mother-in-law said make lasagna, but lasagna is not AIP. So I went on a search and I found an AIP lasagna. So I've already got some stuff going, but I'm going to show you. We are going to make no-mato soup. It's just called no-mato soup. I didn't make it up. So it's no tomatoes. So in the pan here, I have some olive oil that's warming up. On the tray, on the cutting board, I have some sliced garlic, onion, butternut squash, celery, and carrot. And I didn't cut this one yet because it was cute and I wanted you to see it stuck together. Now, if I'm doing something like a sauce, I don't bother. I just wash this and then I chop it up and put it away. If I'm going to put it in a salad or if I'm going to put it like on a veggie tray, then I'll peel it. But otherwise, I just wash it and it's good to go. But I just thought it was so cute that it was a connected. I don't know. I'm corny. What can I tell you? Okay, so I'm just going to slice this up while the olive oil heats up in the pan. So you might be thinking, well, this is not sauce. This is not, if you're Italian, you might be needing to, repent from even hearing that this is going to be a sauce for a lasagna. And then you're going to even be worse when you see what we're using for noodles. It's not going to be what you think. But I made a different version of this earlier in the week, which was absolutely delicious, but I wanted to try this version as well. The version I tried the other day I did not use the no-mato sauce. It was plain without it. Okay, so this is how we start. Ready to go. We're going to put this in the pot. Then we're going to saute that for a little bit until the onions get a little translucent. And then we're going to add beets. And that's how we're going to get our color. So that is the trick to getting a red sauce when you can't use tomatoes. Tomatoes are nightshades, and nightshades can be inflammatory, so I can't have those. Okay, so that's going to saute, but we're also going to add vinegar, red wine vinegar. Imagine if you had a recipe for vinegar and sauce, that wouldn't work. But what I've been reading is when you're making no-mato sauce, a lot of them don't put a vinegar in there, and it's too sharp. I mean, it's not sharp enough. It's too sweet. So the vinegar goes in there to give you that acidic amount, acidic flavor that you would get with sauce. So what I already did, I have this Pampered Chef blender, and to save myself time so I can keep prepping, this is a cooking blender. So I put all the ingredients in here, and I just turn it on and let it go. And so I already have some no-mato sauce cooked. I don't know if you can see it, all that steam coming out, but it looks like sauce, so I think it's going to be fine. So I've got that prepped. Let me get this over here because it's kind of in my way and turn you just a smidge, just so you can kind of see where I'm at. Okay, so we have this going here with all those veggies we just talked about. So you'll cook all this up till it's soft, and then you'll just use an immersion blender or throw it in a regular blender and get it all sauce-like. Okay, so I got spices galore over here. So what I also did already is here I cooked up 2 pounds of turkey because I'm doubling the recipe, some fresh basil, salt, and garlic powder. That's it. Okay, so you cook this up, and I believe you add 1 cup of the no-mato sauce, but I doubled it, so I just want to double check that. Yeah, so I'm going to just add 2 cups of that. Got my Weight Watchers. I always loved this thing when I used to do Weight Watchers. They had these spoons, these stainless, that are so pretty, but it's a cup. So I don't have to wonder. So I'm just going to take a cup out of my piping hot sauce. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like sauce. I want to taste it. Maybe I should taste it. Let's see. It's very hot, so it smells good. I was a little concerned with the beets, but they told me you can't taste the beet in it, so we'll see. With better not be able to because my husband hates beets. He'll be like, ew, there's beets. Don't tell him, guys. Don't tell him there's beets. Okay. I mean, it's not tomato, but it's not bad, actually. Yeah, that's going to work. And I think mixed in, it's almost like tomato pasty. So I would almost maybe add more seasoning to it. But mixed into the meat, this is going to be our meat sauce for our lasagna. So I'll mix this up. Those veggies seem to be cooking nicely next to me. And we've got meat sauce, good to go. And then we're going to make a cheese sauce apparently as well, which my other one didn't have. Okay, so that's our meat sauce, good, ready to go. Done. Okay, next, let's stir this up. Okay, almost ready for the beets. Okay, let's get this over here so I can see what I'm doing. I did that already, the cheese sauce. Okay, so the cheese sauce, let me move this just a little bit. I still need that, but we're going to put some olive oil, a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm not going to measure. You guys know me. I don't do a lot of whole measuring here. Here it is. I need some thyme, just about a half a teaspoon. So we're just going to, by the way, I always reuse. I buy my spices in bulk and then I get these big cheap containers of spices and I refill it with the good stuff. So none of my spices are actually what they're supposed to be. Okay, garlic powder. Oh, I put that away. Garlic powder. Okay. Salt. And then there's a pinch of turmeric just for color. So you can leave that out if you don't want it, but if you like it to look sort of cheesy, then you can put a pinch of turmeric, so we'll throw that in there. Plus it's really good for anti-inflammatory stuff, so pinch of that, good to go. That's a lot of turmeric. I didn't expect it to be that much when I bought it, but then it showed up and I'm like, oh, hello. Okay, and then let's see what we got here. Okay, make your cheese sauce. Heat this, add the apple cider vinegar. Let's put this on the burner. Okay, so we're going to heat this up. Let the spices sort of cook in the oil a little bit. Okay, this is looking good. The onions are starting to get translucent, so I am going to add, what did I just, oh, here it is. Hello. All right, add in the beets and the salt and the herbs. All right, so beets in, salt, woo, almost dropped stuff. Salt is 2 teaspoons. This Himalayan salt, I don't know about you, but I always feel like I need to add a little bit more. It just doesn't seem very salty to me. So I always go a little bit heavier on that. We need some thyme. And this, this is going to take, I made it in the blender first because it's going to take a little while for the veggies to get soft, but you get the idea. Some oregano. Basically, you could probably use Italian seasoning here. It's what we're doing. Okay. Whoop. Get these out of the way. All right. Basil. Okay. Now, we need to add something else. What was the other thing? So, oh no, that's it. Saute 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. And then we're going to get ready to show you the noodles here. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to add in the red wine vinegar. So let's just measure that. So that's ready to go, 1/4 cup. I think that was a good amount. I probably wouldn't tweak that in the recipe. Come on, you can do it. Get out of there. There we go. Okay. So I probably wouldn't tweak that. All right, the herbs are cooking on the sauce. Let me get a spoon for that. And yeah, that's good. All right, so I think I need to add this coconut milk now. So coconut milk, I like to use this Native Forest brand. It gets a nice thick coconut cream on top. And I actually use this for making my coconut milk yogurt as well, which the dishes are almost done, so the container is going to be sanitized. I can make that real quick and show you if we have time. If not, we'll do it another week. Okay, so just throw this in there. goes in here? Apple cider vinegar in that. How much? 1 teaspoon. Okay. I love Bragg's apple cider vinegar. And what's really neat about it is it must be a Christian company. I haven't really looked into it. I just like their stuff. But there is, if you've never noticed and you use Bragg's, right over here there's the fish and it says 3 John 2. That's pretty cool. So that's a Bible reference. So I love that. Yeah, this is good stuff. Okay, so we're going to cook our cheese sauce over here. Let's see. Okay. Let's let that cook down. Let's check our veggies. Okay, these are looking good. So you're going to do, when I make my regular red sauce, I use red wine. And I put quite a bit in there. And then you let it cook down. And cook off all the alcohol. Now we're using red wine vinegar, but it's still using that same method of cooking it down. So we're going to do that. We're going to let that cook down a couple minutes. I probably used a massively too big pot, but that's okay. So I'm supposed to use tapioca starch for this, but I don't have tapioca. I have arrowroot, which is in the other room. I thought it was right here. Okay, well, I might add that. No, I got to do it. So you're going to have to just look at my cooking food, and I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I forgot it wasn't in here. All right. Okay, here we go. Ooh, this has a gluten-free snickerdoodle recipe. That sounds yummy. You should make that. Okay. So we're going to make a little slurry. Once that's reached a boil. Oh, that water's for something else. Okay. So, what is everybody's thoughts on this no-mato sauce? It actually is not bad. I was kind of surprised. Water. Yeah, so let me get 2 tablespoons of tapioca. That vinegar will be almost done cooking out. Well, this is not tapioca, it's arrowroot. But I don't have tapioca. I said that already. I'm feeding myself. Okay. Get rid of that. This will get ready. This is going to be what thickens the cheese sauce. Okay, so let's just stir that up. Now this is going to be similar to when you use cornstarch and then you walk away from it, it sort of settles on the bottom again. You just stir it back up. It's fine. So we'll set that aside. Okay, this is good. Yep, this is good. All right, let me show you. This messes up my camera sometimes, so hopefully it doesn't. But let me just show you real quick what we're doing here. Can you see it? Okay, so here's our veggies. All you can see is steam probably. Okay, and then our meat sauce. All right, let's put you back. I'm sorry, you're getting seasick. Okay, here we go. Let's stir this up. Almost there. The cream on the top of the coconut milk has to sort of melt back in. So while we're doing that, those veggies smell good. And then we're going to, oh, here it is, wrong recipe, two at once. Add in water, and you're supposed to add in maple or honey, but I'm on the part of AIP where I'm actually not even allowed to have that, but I am allowed to have erythritol. So I'm just going to add a teensy bit of that. I'm going to guess you might be able to leave it out, but maybe because of that vinegar, I'm not sure. So I'm going to put it in because that's what it says. And then I'm going to let that cook down for like 30 to 40 minutes, it says, until everything is soft. 30 minutes, I think. And then you blend it up and you have the sauce that we have in the blender already. Okay, so the sauce is done. The cheese sauce is almost done. So what are we going to use for a noodle? Japanese sweet potato. Have you ever seen a Japanese sweet potato? Love these things. Okay. All right, we are taking forever here. Sorry, guys. Ooh, this is nice because it's nice and flat. Now, if you have a mandolin, you can use that, but my mandolin kind of has a guard on it that doesn't let me. So, to do the long noodles like I want to do. So this recipe calls for peeling it and boiling these as slices for like 2 minutes. The recipe I did the other day didn't require that, so I'm going to skip that because it worked beautifully. But I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to make some thin slices. This one is harder and longer than the last one I did, so forgive me. And I have not been to the gym in a while, so my muscles are getting a little loosey-goosey here. But you can see we're making these. These will be our noodles. And these sweet potatoes, if you've never had these, you need to find them. They used to sell them at the health food store in town, but then the health food store went bye-bye, and I wasn't sure where to get them. Now, there's something similar at the grocery store that you can use called batata. You can use that. It's not quite the same, but you can use it if that's all you can find. They have it at Stop and Shop for sure. But I get these from our friends who have a farm in Wolcott called, let me see here, sorry. What am I saying? His Harvest. And they do they have a organic farm, but they also do a organic food share where they order in stuff when it's not in season. And so they have these all the time. Come on. Did not have this much trouble yesterday, guys. This only happens when I'm live. So it's okay. But just so you know. Okay, I got one more that I gotta cut. Just cut this a little bit. If that's a little too thick, it won't cook right. You need to make sure they're at least somewhat similar in size, or else you're gonna have a problem with. Let me check on the sauce here. Oh yeah, that's doing great. Okay, we're almost ready. We're almost ready to assemble, and then I can throw it in a 375-degree oven. Okay. Oh, this one's cutting much better. About 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. This, as thin as you can make it without cutting your fingers off. Be careful about that. I do this all the time, but if you're not someone who's used to this, please be careful. Nobody is immune from getting cut while they're cooking. So if you don't already know this, when you have knives that are really dull, you actually are more likely to cut yourself. So get yourself at least one good knife. I like Pampered Chef knives, but I know there are others that are decent. There's a little thing here I want to get out. Okay, our noodles are ready. Just waiting on our cheese sauce. Let me grab a pan. All right, we start our lasagna with the sauce on the bottom. So we have our meat sauce. Let's bring this over. We already did this. Okay, let me get a spoon though, because this thing is just a spatula to cook with. All right. Who's that? Is that my mommy on there? All right, here we go. No tomato sauce with turkey and basil. We'll put this on the bottom. I almost feel like I'd put more sauce in there, but I don't know how that would be, so I'm going to stick with the recipe and tweak it after. This did actually, I didn't totally stick with the recipe because it called for ground beef and I used ground turkey, but okay, so we put a layer of the meat sauce, and then we've got our sweet potatoes that are our noodles. We layer those in. And this ends up being really scrumptious. Scrummy. Does anybody watch Great British Baking Show? The lady that used to be on, this is too long, let me cut some off. She used to be the lady judge, Mary Berry, I think it is. She used to always say scrummy. I thought that was so cute. This one's too long too. Not too much though. Okay, perfect. And now, our cheese sauce. Let me turn this down. Okay, if you're just joining us, I have no tomato sauce cooking over here. And then I have some cheese sauce going here that is almost ready. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything before we finish up here. Whoops. Here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Oh, let's see. Sweet potato, blah, blah, blah. Assemble, meat sauce, potato, cheese sauce, and repeat. Okay. Let me get my, I have non-stick cookware, so I have this silicone, what is wrong with my brain today? whisk, silicone whisk, so that I don't scratch up my pans. And we have in here our arrowroot and our water slurry. Whoops. So I'm going to stir that up real quick. Settled. And then I'm going to stir it into our coconut milk cheese sauce to thicken it. And we just keep that going until it's nice and thick, and then we have a cheese sauce. So I won't keep you forever while I do this, but I'm going to keep stirring this. Unless, oh, it's thickening up pretty quick. All right, good. I didn't want to make you sit around and wait. But it's actually thickening pretty well. Beautiful. Let it go just another second then, since it's cooperating. Okay. Nice. Okay. So let's take this, and we'll get one more spoon, and we'll put a layer of our cheese sauce. So coconut milk, spices, and some arrowroot. And this is going to be in place of your ricotta for your lasagna. I like to call it lasagna. Okay. So we got our cheese sauce. Let's put that back. Let's put our meat sauce layer. Just like lasagna. Good to go. Whoops. Made a mess. Oh, this is going to be so yummy. I can already tell just by smelling it, it's going to be delicious. I wonder how close to lasagna it will taste, because most of these recipes that you make for these different diets, they're like, this tastes just like X, Y, and Z. I'm like, no, it doesn't. And when you say, I need something salty and crunchy because I miss eating chips, and they're like, have a piece of celery. Come on, guys. I'm pretty sure a piece of celery is not going to cut it when I want a chip replacement. Okay. Let me get that piece of meat in there. I don't want to waste it. Let's put our noodles. Noodles. Good. Put that over there. I'm playing Tetris over here like my mama. She's so good at Tetris. She always gets everything put away just exactly right. Okay. So, fit these little ones in somewhere. I don't like to waste. Okay, and then we put our cheese sauce. I'm pretty sure, yep, repeat once more, put the cheese sauce. All right, let's finish layering with their cheese sauce, and then we'll throw it in the oven. And then we'll be done. Smells good. I wish you could smell it. I wish I could taste it. I gotta wait like a long time here. Okay. You know, a lot of people get really discouraged getting on these diets, and they're like, oh, what am I going to eat? But there are tons of options and tons of recipes, and I feel like every time I have to get on some sort of a strict, sort of strange diet, I learn so many new things. Like, who would have made sauce with all of these veggies and still sort of taste like sauce? I mean, what are the chances of that? So, I mean, I'm learning new things, and then I'm eating new things, and lots more veggies. So, it's kind of worth it. Now, this says to put in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. I'm going to have to put it in longer because I did not boil the sweet potatoes, but that's okay. So I'm going to put it in, and I'll probably give it like half an hour maybe. And then you take turn the timer, oh my goodness, the heat up and broil the top just to get a little bit brownie bubbly. But this is our lasagna with our cheese sauce and meat sauce. There is nothing in here that is inflammatory, and it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, it's sugar-free. I mean, it's got all the right makings of something delicious and healthy, and it gives you that mouthfeel of lasagna that you've kind of been missing. So anyway, I'm going to just keep cooking this sauce down and figure out what I can do with it now that I've got 2 huge containers of it. So, well, if this is delicious, I'll just make this again. So, thanks for being with me. I appreciate you all, and we will be back next week with some more AIP recipes. Okay, bye.